there are lands still shrouded in mystery to the vast majority of the people of Krynn. Let's explore a number of these locations. Welcome to another DragonLance Saga episode. My name is Adam, and today we're going to talk about the lost lands of Krynn. I'd like to take a moment and thank my collaborator patrons, the Heroes of the Lance, and invite you to consider becoming a patron or member of this channel by visiting the links in the description below. You can even pick up DragonLance gaming materials using my affiliate link. I am referencing the novels The Second Generation and Return of the Exile, and source books The History of Dragonlance and Dragons of Krynn for this information. First, let's travel west of Ansalon to the Isle of Gargath. Now, in the Age of Dreams, the Grey Gem was captured by Gargath, whose fortress was assaulted by gnomes, humans, ogres, elves, and dwarves, depending on the version of the legend you hear, and in an effort to reclaim it, the Grey Gem slipped through Reorx's fingers and traveled west, causing a massive amount of chaos in its wake. Now, we all know why, as chaos is trapped inside of it. But it was eventually recaptured by a descendant of Gargath on the isle that came to become known as the Isle of Gargath. Now, the island features a gigantic mountain at its core, surrounded by a forest of trees and ending in sandy beaches. The island is populated by primitive humans who live in huts clustered into villages throughout the forests and beaches, tasked by the Grey Gem with its protection through the wizard Gargath. Now, Castle Gargath is at the base of the mountain. The appearance continually shifts, with archways and doorways reappearing and disappearing due to the chaos of the Grey Gem. At its center is a cone-shaped room rising to a point, and at the pinnacle is where the Grey Gem was held in stasis, constantly transforming Lord Gargath as torture for trapping it. We also know that the Grey Gem was ultimately recaptured by Reorx, who subsequently re-lost it in a bet, when it immediately fled and was recaptured again by the Arda. Now, as we continue our exploration of some of the more obscure locations on Krynn, I think we should make our next stop at Storm's Keep. Now, this stronghold and former headquarters of the Knights of Tikhisis in the Age of Despair is located far north and west of the continent of Ansalon. It rests on a vast rock peak in the Syrian Sea. The fortress is protected by the goddess Zeboim for the safety of her son Eric and Ericus. From above the ocean's surface, it is shrouded in storm clouds. From below, it's guarded by Zeboim's loyal creatures of the deep. Now, it is rumored that the keep was dragged up from the deep as a gift. In reality, it was probably built by contract with Minotaurs, as the structure is similar to architecture found on the Isle of Mythas. For all intents and purposes, Storm's Keep is immense and impregnable. The fortress combines barracks, outbuildings, storehouses, financial strongholds, stables, a courtyard, infirmary, turreted buildings with watchtowers, and at its heart, a temple of Tikhisis. It is all surrounded by an enormous wall protecting it. The Conclave of Wizards speculates it even contains its own Tower of High Sorcery. I think we should consider visiting the Dragon Isles next. They lay far north of Ansalon and are made up of multiple mysterious and magical islands. Formed by dragon sorcerers in antiquity, they raised mountains, carved rivers, and gave life to forests and jungles. After the Third Dragon War, the metallic dragons returned to their isle to maintain balance. They raised a magical barrier known as the Veil to protect them. It only allowed metallic dragons to enter. The dragons would provide access to certain select few whom they deemed worthy to gain access to their isles and live and hunt and prosper. The Dragon Isles are nominally ruled by an oligarchy of dragons, composed from each dragon clan. Within each clan, dragons follow a hierarchical structure. As the isles are populated by two-legged mortals, the dragons tend to stay out of their lives, unless there's something that disturbs the peace and they are incapable of managing themselves. Then the dragons may step in as peacemakers rather than rulers. In the years prior to the Second Cataclysm, many wizards, fearful for their security and to consult the dragons of magic, traveled to the Isle of Winged Majesty and constructed a floating citadel named Siraculum. Winged Majesty is the second largest island and the clan home of silver dragons. The largest settlement is the port town of Gal Ucarin, composed of exiled Sylvanisty and Qualinisty elves. A peaceful, multiracial group known as the Harmony of the Heart formed on the Isle of Heart following the Chaos War. The Isle of Heart is located 25 miles southwest of the Misty Isle and contains a number of dense jungles with cliff-covered, jagged hills. The Legion of Steel has training grounds on the Isle of Mind, 100 miles northeast of the Misty Isle. They operate out of the fortified city of Watch in the foothills of the Bluestone Mountains. It is the clan home of copper dragons, featuring the deepest lake on the Isles. Crater Deep Lake is rumored to be bottomless, though it may contain another portal to the dragon's graveyard. The Isle of Baran is located 50 miles east of the Isle of Teol and is controlled by the Order of Brass. They operate out of Thrakton and tightly control and report all activities to the ancient brass dragon Thraktil the Fierce. The isle features the Brass Pyramids in its northern shores. The pyramids, 5 in total, were present when the dragons arrived and appear to be made from a single piece of metal. Though the dragons are incapable of deciphering the pyramids, the mysterious Huldra-folk have been performing rituals on and around the pyramids from their beginning. 75 miles southwest of the Misty Isle is the Isle of Jaintarth. This isle features the tallest mountains in the Dragon Isles called the Cloud Peaks. They're frequented and at times home to silver dragons, but it's rumored that a white dragon has taken up residence in their cloud-covered glacial peaks. At the heart of this island is a massive body of water called the Silver Lake. It's surrounded by nearly 100 waterfalls that are fed from 4 separate mountain ranges. 70 miles southeast of the Misty Isle is the Isle of Alarl. It is the most beautiful isle, containing rugged hills, lush valleys, and crystal-clear lakes. It has fertile jungles with few marshes. It is inhabited primarily by wild elves, Kender, and some humans. Southwest of the Isle of Alarl is the magnificent reef called the Golden Reef. It is said to have been blessed by Habakkuk himself. There are rumors of massive treasures below its coral mazes. North of the Dragon Isles is the Isle of Fire. It is at the heart of the magical veil that protects the Isles. It features a volcanic peak emanating lava from its fissures. The isle features 2 temples, the Temple of the Earth at the base of the volcano, and the Temple of the Sky, suspended above the volcano's center, which powers the veil through a massive diamond. On the north shore of the Misty Isle lies the Silver Summit, which is a set of magical stairs that climbs into the heavens. It is said to be the location of silver dragon burial grounds and contain a portal to the pocket dimension of the dragon's graveyard. Approximately 30 miles south is the Dargonisty city of Darthala. The Misty Isle is also the clan home of gold dragons. 2 great mountain ranges travel east to west, creating a massive valley called Highvale. The isle also has the only true city called Ariolasticon, the City of Gold. You may compare it to Palanthas in population and diversity. It's broken up by racial districts. Dragon Heights is also located on the island. It features immense buildings and colossal sculptures of dragons, grand museums, and great libraries. It's surrounded by a protective field of magic. The island home of Teol is the westernmost island, roughly 50 miles west of Baran. It is the clan home of bronze dragons. Teol is covered in low-lying swamps and features marshlands and salt flats. It has a small inland mountain range with many volcanoes warming the sea and feeding the dense jungles. South of the Dragon Isles are the Teeth of Chaos. This mystical chain of isles shifts in numbers, being said to rise miles above sea level, then diminishing in numbers without warning. The Teeth are tainted by chaos and are populated by mutations of all life. Finally, let's charter a ship due east, deep into the Karain Ocean, to Ithin'carthia. First discovered by Ariakan with the guidance of Zeboim, goddess of the sea, the isle is inhabited by the Brutes, or Tarmac, a blue-painted barbaric warrior culture of giant stature. They number in the 150,000s on the isle and live a martial lifestyle. Ithin'carthia features rolling hills with grass that leads to jungles outside the stone cities. It is ruled by an emperor named Konkawea. A century ago, they made war on the other inhabitants of the isle, the Damjat and Kina, defeating their entire military structures after generations and absorbing them into their culture. And that is all I have to say about the lost lands of Krynn. I hope you enjoyed the information. Do you have a favorite lost region? Are there any other areas you would like me to explore on Krynn? And finally, if you could live anywhere on Krynn, where would it be? Leave a comment below. I'd like to once again invite you to consider becoming a patron or member of this channel, and you can pick up DragonLance gaming materials using my affiliate link, all of which are in the description below. This channel is all about celebrating the wonderful world of the DragonLance Saga, and I hope you'll join me in the celebration. Thank you for watching. This has been Adam with DragonLance Saga, and until next time, remember, we already control much of Ansalon, Your Majesty. Ariakan protested, thinking that she implied fault with himself and his knights. And what of Taladus and the distant regions of this world?